Good evening and welcome to Modern Spiritual. I'm Aeson Knight, and with me tonight is legendary Miss Hazel Firefly. How are you?
I'm okay. I would have appreciated it if you told me your times had changed.
I know. Freaking US, thank you, Bush.
We'll have the same predicament at the end of the month.
Well, no, that's when it gets back to normal for you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Brenda.
Hello, Miss Brenda.
So it's your fault we late.
It is. I'm the one that chose this controversial topic. We had to wait for, to pull resources, to get everything in line. So anyhow, how's your week been?
Busy.
Busy.
Busy. I had my little man Friday night.
Uh-huh.
He was good as gold. He sat you while I was working.
Uh-huh.
So
He started shuffling the cards for you yet?
Well, he's just about there.
Yeah.
He's just about there. Yeah, Nanny was multitasking, feeding and reading at the same time.
Hey, psychics are great at that.
Brenda, he didn't tell me your times had changed. So there I was chilling, and I get a message, are we doing the show tonight? And there I was like, yeah. Have your times changed? And he went like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So when I made myself coffee, and here I am.
Exactly. By the way,
how's your week?
It's been a good week. It's been a good week.
You're looking different. Have you added trim?
I have. I'm getting into my summer beard. You know.
Brenda, can you see he's going grey on his beard?
Honey, I've been going grey since age of 16.
Thank you, Brenda. He is really adorable. He's Nanny's boy, that's for sure.
He is. And he's so sweet,
I woke up 5:30 Saturday morning and turned to look at him, and there he was smiling at me and gurgling away.
Aw, that's so cute.
And then it's like, right, let's take you downstairs, give you your bottle. And then the bugger went back to sleep for 3 hours.
That works really well. And I'm so glad that he's a happy baby.
He is. What did he sleep? 5, 6, 7, about 8 hours.
Wow.
So Mum and Dad weren't impressed. But because he don't sleep that long for them.
Well, that's because, they don't do all the special things.
No.
Like reading a story.
And letting him kick around on the floor and he pees everywhere. And I just leave him to it. It's all experience for him.
Exactly. And it's getting him used to everything.
Yes.
Because once they come into this world, they've got to adapt to this poor excuse of a simulation.
Yes.
All right. So first I want them to pay attention in case they're watching. Hello, CIA. Nice to see you. Please take a seat.
Don't forget about MI5.
Exactly. MI5, we have your table waiting over to the left.
Please feel free to leave a donation on the way out.
Exactly. According to what you guys are paying, we need to discuss contracts. And hello, Russia. Nice to see you. I guess you started this all off with your psychic war of the Cold War. Feel free to take your seat in the back. We've made it especially cold for you, so you'll be comfortable.
God. I can't take you serious.
Exactly.
Because she's trying to nip your cup while you're drinking.
Oh, she's trying to be a pain today. She wants attention. She's gotten into a nasty little habit. Yes, and remember, like the video and subscribe.
What's her little habit at the moment?
Her little habit is as soon as I get out of the shower, she must be fed. And it's like, Your breakfast is after I'm ready. Don't rush it. This beauty takes work.
But don't forget your time have changed, so
I'm
she's going to be used to a routine.
Uh-huh. Yeah, she started this before the time change. Now she's just
Right.
angry because I'm late.
Oh, see.
Yeah, she'll get used to it. Then she'll get surprises at the end of the year because then it's like, oh, he actually remembered to feed me today.
God bless her.
Yes. So please understand, this is controversial. This is backroom conversation. This is hearsay. Do not take this for legal defense. Think of what
This
else.
show is purposely for entertainment purposes.
Yes. There we go. Thank you. And I don't know if you've heard about this case going through the U.S. court system right now about the TikToker that was a psychic that named somebody as a murderer publicly on TikTok. And then she got a cease and desist letter, which is basically shut your mouth letter. Got
Yeah.
4 of them. 4 of these shut the fuck up letters. And yes, I said the F word.
And she's still done it.
And she's still done it. She even went deeper, like harder in on it. And she's listed a lot of things into evidence. Useless evidence, but supposed evidence.
If you have evidence like that, you go to the local authorities. You don't spread it all over social network.
Well, see, I have a strict policy when it comes to working with anything official. 1, I don't work with you. I will work with a liaison. I will work with a PI that you have to deal with. I don't work with you.
Right.
I don't put up with you. If you need a list of the PI that I work with, contact my office. They'll happily give you the number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reason being is I don't want to deal with, and I'll put it point blankly, I don't want the family members being influenced by what I say.
Yeah.
Because then I have to be nice about it. I can't get into all the details you want. I don't want to deal with a law enforcement officer that doesn't understand half of what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have policies and procedures for me to work in an official capacity. Do you? Or do you even have regulations over there where you're allowed to or not allowed to?
We're allowed to.
Okay.
But they got the big thing over you. If you work with the police force on a case, they put you on TV.
Oh, really?
Now, that's something I don't agree with.
See, I require my anonymity on the involvement of a case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the simple reason, people then know you. If it's on the local news, because we do like area news over here.
Right.
People would know it's me. They know where I live.
And
I keep my job private because I don't want everybody knocking my door.
Right. And, I don't keep my job private, but I don't want my name in a case. I don't want my name appearing in court documents because, if they go up for manslaughter, that's only 10 years, which turns into 4 years. Yeah, I've got enough problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think as well, we've got to realize that we've got to self-protect us.
Right. But, and that's when it comes to working with police. Other officials, I have the same policy. Like, if it was 1971 and someone showed up in a black suit, I'd be like, no. You turn your happy little... I don't care what you've got in your little blue book or what Project Stargate is. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Go talk to my PI.
Yeah. I agree with that because self-preservation, and in our job, that's something we've got to do.
Right.
And it's as if something happens in 12 years' time, are they going to drag us back through the mill if something new comes to, which things happen like that.
Well, they did because the project ended in 76.
Yeah.
But if you go back, they also pulled them back in, pulled the team back together over the hostages in Iran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing. At one stage, they've done a double, completely 360. At one stage, they believed. In the second stage, they didn't. In the third stage, they believed again.
They believe when they need you.
Yes. I was just going to say, when they think they need help, that's when they believe.
Right. If you're watching on Facebook, we've lost the stream. That's to be expected.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to speak about anything like this on Facebook.
Well, just saying. Unfortunately, we've lost Facebook. It's going to happen. Welcome to the world of psychics.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
The thing is, could you imagine all these MI5s,
right.
FBI, whatever they are? Could you imagine them living in our head for a day?
Oh, can you imagine them like putting up with our caseload?
Oh, no, they wouldn't be able to.
Right. So it started out with the SSR. Okay. Using psychics to see if they could be used as weapons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you move a bullet?
And
can you control someone's behavior?
But that's not what psychics are for.
Right.
So straight away they were off on the wrong foot.
Right. And, it made it through things. And so the CIA got word of it, and they went, oh, we better be getting this together ourselves.
Yeah. And that's the thing. They all, what they need really was somebody like Uri Geller
Mm-hmm.
that would stop things like that happening, not psychics. There's so many different areas.
Right.
And I don't know the correct word. Areas and types of what we do. They perhaps called the same, but they different, totally different things.
Right. And they were using remote viewers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's what was really studied a lot, is remote viewing, and exactly where, can they predict locations? Can they be used? They were using telekinesis. They were trying to test mind control. And then they were using remote viewing, which is you're given a target. You find what you can pick up psychically about that target.
It's just pathetic because they all jumped on the bandwagon without knowing the ifs and buts and maybes.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, if I get somebody that asks me a government question, I will not answer point blank.
Right.
Because to me, a government agency is confidential.
Right. Well, and you guys have the Secrets Act over there, which is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
That covers that you're not allowed to do governmental secrets or share governmental secrets.
No.
And that would then incur the Mediumship Act, which is actually the act okay, if we back up, during World War II, Britain had the Witchcraft Act. Everyone knows this.
Yeah.
The last woman tried for witchcraft was a medium who was in the medium of a seance and revealed that a ship that nobody else knew had been sunk in, most of the people in the room had lost their boys and were dead. And she was tried for witchcraft.
And that's the thing. Years ago, people who done witchcraft were burnt at the stake.
Uh-huh.
Or hung, drawn, and quartered, shall we say.
Yes.
But then when it comes to the authorities that need help, everything is forgotten about.
Exactly. It's like, no, we'll let you do this. We'll just turn a blind eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and yeah, at the same time, we have, Mustache Man.
Yeah.
Using astrologists to plan his battle.
Yeah. Yeah. There's somebody on TikTok. He is a really good psychic.
Mm-hmm.
He died years ago, but he done outcomes for every year.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, he has been so smack on with everything.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, he's done that. He published it to his own team because he had a team working for him, as people do.
Right.
I got to be careful how I word this. And the team passed it down, and the year always gets published at the beginning of the year.
Right.
And it's like, oh, well, if he can do that. And I was like, today we had a conversation about it, and I was like, yeah, because he worked old school.
Right.
You've got old school working, you've got new school working. And we were on about the police today because over a year back, must have been 12 years ago, 2 young girls were abducted and murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And they used a psychic to crack that case.
Right.
Because they had an idea who it was, but they couldn't prove it.
Right.
But then the psychic came in. She was a psychic medium, because obviously they're 2 different things.
Exactly.
And the young girls that had passed over had told her where the stuff were that they had been wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they had him in the end.
Right. And I don't know. And then there was a group.
Urigella?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was very famous.
Yeah.
And has released that MI5 wanted to use him. There was the astrologer that helped Reagan.
Yeah.
Plan his travel events. May have even prevented him from having such a prevented him from being like Lincoln. That's the best way I can put it, to keep within YouTube. By working with timing and advising on that. Like, we work in, but I find it interesting. It's called the Goat Man. And not all mediums are psychic.
Yeah. I agree with that completely.
Right. I'm just down to a large. We're still dieting. I don't think I'll get to a medium, but I'm just down to a large.
The last time I seen a medium was when I was about 12 years old.
Uh-huh.
No, they are 2 totally different things. And I think as well, that's what government agencies need to understand.
Right.
On my tax forms,
they
ask for my business name.
Mm-hmm.
So I say Firefly Tarot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I always get an email back. Asking me to state what job I do. So after being on the phone, this is every January, like the clock. I have to phone them and say what I do isn't seen as a professional job through your systems. They always then put me down as customer service advisor.
It's always cute.
And that's a government office.
I know.
It don't make sense.
See, I'm always considered a consultant, a personal consultant. And I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah. I prefer that than customer service advisor.
Right.
But then I'm like, well, you're a government office. Why haven't you updated your systems?
Well, and you have the government, like there are laws regulating you.
Yeah,
Ones
yeah,
that I would love to have in the U.S.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's
Oh,
like,
sorry. Right. That's my fault. I apologize.
okay, you're fine.
I've
We
logged
didn't hear.
out.
It's always fun. But no. So let's talk some general terms of what they've studied. They've studied telepathy, which is the ability
Yeah.
to move an object at a distance without touching it,
Which is Uri Geller.
which is Uli Geller. Okay,
Yeah,
I believe his biggest thing is bending spoons.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. Then there's remote viewing, which
yeah,
is given a target. And this is a skill that can be learned. Remote viewing is a trainable skill.
yes,
You have to have a partner.
yeah,
Okay. And, example, if me and Hazel was going to work on a remote viewing, we would set a time that's the same time for both of us.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
we would take turns viewing what the other one is doing. Like, oh, I see a coffee cup. Oh, you're brewing either coffee or tea in a kitchen that is mauve with white backing, and breaking it down.
We would tell the story between ourselves.
Right. Okay. Or, oh, you're at the shops. It looks to be a small one. There's a lot of older clothes here. So it's a charity shop. And you're in the glassware section looking at cups.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's exactly what I mean, where there's so many different types and aspects to
Right.
each name.
Right. And titles. Like there's
Yes.
clairvoyant. My main gift means I see the future. I deal with future events.
Yeah.
So, it's like it looks to me that you need to be aware that if we're working with governmental agencies, you need to make sure your security is beefed up. Hypothetically, during June and March.
Yeah.
For data information and protecting internet systems.
It's ridiculous that they think that they can only... How can I put this? They can only believe in it when they need to.
I think it's only because of they have to have a usefulness for us. While they track us, I'm quite sure there is a government file by a government agency on every person that is in the industry.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you think about it, when we register, we have to give so much information than what you would for a different job.
Right.
If you get my meaning.
Right. Very much so. And, and with all the testing that we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, or I don't know. Well, we'll take the one asparagus reader. I'm quite sure MI5 keeps a file on her and goes, accurate prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, or you get those collars, and I love them. And they are like, how's Paris for me this spring? And you're like,
yeah,
what? Paris? And it's like, where's business headed this month? I love this question, especially when it's like, what business are we talking about? And they kind of dance around it. And it's like, yeah. But, yeah. So, with that, what is your suspicions of current psychic studies?
That's a difficult one to answer. What I'll say is, I don't feel everybody that they studied is actually psychic.
I don't either. I think they try to, however.
Yeah. If the name fits, they're going to pick that person.
Right.
Even though where they know nothing about that person's background.
Right.
So they could be working with a complete novice that hasn't got the ability to take these tests. Whereas me and you, we would be able to handle them because we know what they're getting at. And we've got the experience behind us.
Right. And here's the thing, though. Do we want that life?
No.
No.
I'm happy with the way I work, with my life. Would I want to work with any of these, I'm going to say, agencies? No, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't want my life to be turned upside down.
I think I would have to negotiate that contract very carefully.
Yeah.
I would have to negotiate their limitations, because if we look at some of this testing, it was brutal testing.
Yeah. I'm sure there was one test they done was to see how long you could stay awake for as a psychic. What the hell have sleep got to do with a psychic? If you're working, you're exhausted.
Well, I know what this is, and I know why they've done it, and it's because of a method of psychology that the longer you are awake, the more ethereal you become.
Right.
Because it's one of those weird things about psychics that, alcohol frees our tongue.
Yeah.
We have less human filters. We're able to connect easily. Like some of those old mediums, honey, they had some hooch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it plays within the psyche of the psychic. It's
there you are.
Yeah, hi, honey. It plays within the psychic of the psychics.
Yeah.
And with that, at times it's like, just where's this at? Where's all this going? But they, I'm sure there's endurance testing. There is, but some of the stuff I don't want to see. Like, I don't want to see heads being blown off.
No.
No, I'm not reading that. And now Hazel freezes. Are you there, darling? Hazel? Wow, this is the first episode we've had this much technical difficulty. How interesting. All right, guys, let's go to commercial and we'll be back.
Try psychic reading on your phone. Your first 3 minutes are free. First, choose a topic or method. Second, choose a psychic. Third, start a call or chat. The first 3 minutes are on us. Install Zodiac Psychics now. Talk to a gifted and trusted psychic advisor.
For so long, everything was difficult because I was allowing it to be and almost finding more comfort in that chaos.
My psychic advisor really helped me stop and take a breath and look within and be okay with what was happening right now.
Having that 24/7 access is amazing. Just a quick moment to get some clarity.
We are here on a journey and we can't always control it. All we can do is be along for the ride.
Okay, that was freaking interesting.
If I get raided tonight, I'm coming to live with you.
Please do. We'd love to have you.
Oh, that's freaked me right out. First of all, you were freezing and you were just spinning for a few minutes before we went.
Uh-huh.
Because I was like missing half of you, and then you jumped back in and finished the sentence, and then about 3 y'all just went bang.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to be careful.
For those that are just joining after the break, we have lost our StreamYard stream. Like, it will not even reconnect.
Facebook have been stopped.
Yeah. Yeah, we have lost Facebook. We have lost Hazel. This is interesting, isn't it? Because we don't normally have these technical difficulties.
We have never, in all the time we've been doing it, have never had technical issues.
No. No. This is
Brenda, if those men in black arrive, I'm legging it.
Well, let's talk about that. The risk we take as being psychics in this world.
Excuse me, that's just proved it.
I know.
Give me my vape.
Yes, enjoy your vape.
God.
Okay. Psychics have there was a nurse in California.
See?
Interesting. Okay, we're going to highlight this.
It's been nice knowing you if we sack tomorrow.
No, if we're sacked tomorrow, you will see us on another place. We are like gophers. We will pop up. Okay. So back in 1976, or the late 70s, there was a nurse who dabbled. Like, she was not a professional psychic. She dabbled. She heard a radio broadcast and it triggered clairvoyancy. Again, because she's a dabbler. She doesn't have control over it.
Yeah.
She saw the murder in detail and knew where the body was. She takes her happy little self down to the police station. They find, then, they go, another kook. She finds the body because, she knows they aren't listening to her.
Yeah.
So her and her daughter go and find the body. She spent a week in jail, accused of the murder.
That's ridiculous.
The murderer.
That is ridiculous.
This is why you do not do this.
No.
Okay.
No.
This is why this is why I have such a stringent policy. Like, I've worked on cases. I don't put it out there. You'll never know the cases. It's not on one of my profiles.
No. There's some things we don't disclose because we have our own reasons to.
Exactly. I worked on high profile cases. I don't put it in my thing. I find it ridiculous.
Yeah.
When I see work with police and psychic profiles. Drives me insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Thing is, all they do is take the mick anyway.
Right.
Because they don't understand what we do.
Well,
they think we're loonies.
Well, no. Some of them are very respectful, and they're like, okay, what's your process? Like, I want to work, I'll get messages, email, phone calls. I want to work with you. Fine, contact this person.
Yeah, yeah. And I will be seeing that person on Thursday, I believe.
No.
Is he letting us down?
That's not who I work with.
Ah, right, okay. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's outsourced.
Right.
But do they use us? Yes. Will a lot of them talk about it? Only if they can put your face on it.
Yeah. See, in the UK, that's what they do. You've got to make media appearance.
Right.
And no way am I doing that.
Uh-uh.
No way. My kids mean more to me than anything like that.
Well, not only that, but, look at our stream, and all we're talking about is history. We're talking about Project Stargate. Yeah. We're talking about MI5's episodes. We're talking about the SSR and their research that actually this is where we get a lot of our information at.
Yeah.
And what I mean by information is, remote viewing was developed during the Goatman situation, during Project Stargate.
Yeah. There was a psychic used over here. No, I don't know if you heard about the case over there. The Nicola Bully case.
Right.
Where she was out walking her dog.
Mm-hmm.
She'd fallen into the river. Now they had 3 separate independent dive teams to check the river.
Right.
Couldn't find her. But then all of a sudden, the police divers found her in the exact same place where the 3 independent teams had looked.
Right.
And then a psychic came forward and said, this, this, and this.
Right.
And that was right. Her body had been put into the water after the divers had checked it.
Right. And see, that's a big play with it, too.
Yeah.
Is a big play with time, which doesn't exist in the psychic realm.
No.
Targets, because targets can look the same.
Yeah.
A green office building is a green office building. Find it.
Yeah.
How many green office buildings you got over there?
Bloody loads.
Yeah. So you have to get into great detail. So with this, be cautious, be skeptical. Watch where things go.
Definitely.
And if you're into spy history, look up Project Paperclip.
We had a big case over here. It was too long, about 2 years ago. And it'd been investigated for 2 years before that.
Right.
Some Russian people had come over and they'd lived over here a while, but it had then been discovered that they were spies.
Right.
And that all triggered all different events.
Right.
So that's a massive thing over here as well, as you said halfway through the broadcast.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right. Ooh, I didn't know that we were involved in the presidential trip.
Yeah.
So Nixon went to China. They used clairvoyance to be an 82-page report. So an 82-page reading.
To make sure everything would be okay.
Yeah. And to talk it through. Very, very interesting. And of course, Bush.
Yeah.
So we're up to, the project closed in 1985.
And that's not that long ago when you look at it that way.
Not at all. Not at all. So, overviewing it all, what's your views? Do you think they're still doing it?
feel they're watching us.
Well, that's evident.
I feel they watch what we say.
Mm-hmm.
I feel if we would say something they didn't like, they would be on us.
Oh, I think so.
And that's why I'm ever so strict about government readings, no chance.
Well, and see, the government of China, the Empire of China, has a really strict policy, not only on us, but also on the readee.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to take those additional steps. All right. So with that, let's look at what we're talking about next week and give them a little bit of preview. Oh, you're going to love this one.
What's next week?
The psychic and spellcaster scams.
You know, scams are my big thing.
Exactly. Your big thing's integrity. My big thing is shut them down.
Yeah.
Either show me a candle of gold wax, meaning there is gold in the wax, or shut you down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy doing that one.
Exactly. You know.
This one have given me the willies tonight.
Yeah, this one's been tight, you know, but we're not afraid to take on hard subjects. We're not afraid to talk about things that could, you know, be interesting.
Yeah. See, even though the aliens come and got me, I did come back.
They will return me with money. I promise you, because they will not want all my questions.
I'll wake up in the morning, I'll have 2 heads, 6 arms, and 8 legs.
No, believe me, I am all for the alien thing. In my viewpoint, I have questions for them. You know, like, what's the black space in the center of the universes? Exactly how is the heat? What's the temperatures are in Andromeda? Can we go there? Is there a McDonald's there? Like, I have lined up questions for them. You know, like, let's do an interview. Like, you know, quickly get my StreamYard running. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we'll have them on. Same thing with, you know, if anyone else wants to have a conversation, I'm open to having a conversation with them.
Yes.
But be prepared that it's a two-way conversation and they don't get asked all the questions. I do.
I can see you being there like a little train spotter.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we do have a special show this week. I will be sitting down and having tea with Barbara Bear on Friday at 6 p.m. She's an astrology reader. She, you know, and she's an astrographical, which is a branch of astrology that informs us of city, you know, where, you know, how things are affected on the globe. She also reads tarot. She's been in the business for over 20 years. She's out of South Africa, so it'll be very interesting to have a conversation with her. And she actually has paperwork to back up her studies. So this will be fun.
That will be.
Yeah. And that is, of course, we do our special shows on Fridays, and this one will be at 6 instead of 5. You know, so you want to get that liking, subscribing, all that going on, so that you get notifications on when you are here at Modern Spiritual. So, darling, what's your week looking like?
I've got no appointments this week, apart from our meeting on Wednesday, which I believe is 5 o'clock my time.
What's your invite say? Because it's set at, no, it's 6 your time.
6 my time, is it?
Yes.
Right, that's fine. If I'm not there, just send me a message anyway.
Yeah, I'll ping you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But apart from that, I'm working all week.
Yes. Where can they find your lovely face?
You can find me on Fortunica and Zodiac Psychics.
Yes. And I'm over on Keen, Fortunica, and Zodiac. All of them have their own platform, chat, call,
Yeah.
text messages, like all that works. They all have lovely apps. Go and download them. And with that, guys, we're going to wrap this show up. You guys have an amazing week. See me on Friday when I talk with Brenda Bear, and see Miss Hazel on Monday with me again.
And I'm now going to sage the bloody house.
Of course you do. Y'all guys have an amazing day. Bye, y'all.
Bye.